This right here is my favorite thing ever. In the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
Welcome back to Slinging Cardboard, where we play the spice, the heat. We like to get in there and be kind of aggressive, with all that spice and good stuff. We do roll zero, or at least I like to, from watching videos and being in certain pods. So today I'm doing a deck tech on Witch King Skyforge. This is pretty much just for my stuff I had laying around. I don't have all the raves. I have probably one rave in here, and it's ring raves, and then the land that you get from the scenario from Lord of the Rings. So whenever I attack with one or more creatures, whenever I attack with one or more raves, I exile the top X cards from my library, where X is the total power. I can play those cards this turn, undying. If it dies, if it has no counters, comes back with a counter to the battlefield with a 1/1 counter. So the way I built it was commander focus, with equipment, recursion, protection, and then all that good spice that you guys will see here. So we have Phyrexian Reclamation, which is a recurred. As you guys can see here, pay 1 and a black, pay 2 life for turn target creature card from my graveyard to my hand. On to the next one, we got March from the Blackgate. When it ETBs, and whenever an army I control attacks, I max Orcs 1. So pretty much a blocker at that point, or something to swing with if my commander's not on the field. Swifted Boots, because you gotta have a hexproof haste on my creatures, especially my commander. Big key there. We got locks it on Warhammer. Crit creature gets +3, +0, has trample lifelink, quick for 3. Source of lifelink, making sure damage goes through if he's big. This right here is a proxy. I don't own the Sword of Peace and Famine, but I did proxy one out, and I would say it's a really good one to have in this deck, just because I get protection from black and green, but main so forth for the dealing combat damage that play with discard a card. It's just there to untap all my lands and have interaction at that point. Overflowing Chalice, multi-kick, all that good stuff pretty much. Cast my commander. We got Field Beast of Mordor, has flying, devours, ETBs, sacrificing a number of creatures. Then it enters without many 1/1 counters on it. And when it ETBs or attacks, target opponent loses 3 life, and I gain 3 life for X number of 1/1 counters on it. Gain life. This is a pretty good one. Staff of Completion. As you can see, pay 1, destroy one of my own permanents, pay 2, and 1 of any color. Pay 3, proliferate, pay 4, untap. Draw card, pay 5, untap the staff. I do want to add a Staff of Domination. We got a Soul Ring, Basalt Monolith, Mana Vault. They're just there to help me cast my commander very quickly, because I got to. You gotta make sure that, you know, you lay it down on the table for everybody. Ring wraiths, which is probably the only wraith I have in here that I actually do own. When an ETB's target creature and opponent controls gets -3/-3, but it's legendary. Its controller is just 3 life. But whenever the ring tempts me, returns back from the graveyard to my hand. This is a wheel, a miracle, pretty much. If I can cast this card for its miracle cost, when I draw it for the first card I drew this turn. If it's the first card I drew this turn, then I can cast it for its miracle cost. Each player discards his or her hand and draws 7. It's a wheel. Not too bad with the wheel. Excuse me. We got pro. We got some protection here. Till target creature gains death touch and indestructible till end of turn. Another source true. If someone were to path to exile or source of posture, I can make him waste it just by casting this spell for its additional cost of sack a creature. My commander would trigger from the Undying. But I would be drawing 3 cards because it is legendary. We got Fire Shrieker. The quick creature gets double strike or casts double strike, and I will be exiling the top 10 cards, which I can play them for that turn. But it quits for 2, which is something good. We got Black Sun's Twilight. It's another recurse spell, but it also gives target creature -X/-X, and I can return something for X, where if X is 5 or more, then I return a creature card from my graveyard to the battlefield, where X is how much I spent into the spell. This land is actually pretty good because it turns all my other creatures, as you can see at the bottom. I put a shadow counter on target creature, where as long as it has that shadow counter, it's a wraith in addition to its other types. This one's a really good one too. It attacks, attach up to 1 target equipment to it, mass orbs, where X is the number of equipment cards attached to it. Such a good card though. While Ricochet, call it the One Ring. Rowan is in here, so this is why I decided to put Rowan part of the 99 in this deck. This is called One Ring is such a good card. Wind Reflection. Also there to kill my opponents off a little bit early as well too. Another recurse spell with Unsealed Necropolis. Then we get into, so that's that part. We have these, that's also in the deck. We got Mishra, permanents I control, have ward, sacrifice a permanent. A permanent I control have ward, and then my opponents have to sacrifice a permanent in order to target it. But my artifacts I have unearthed for Rakdos and Colorless. The Nazgul Battle Mace, which is such a good equipment. It's honestly, you're gonna be seeing some of your, you're gonna be seeing a lot more play with this card actually, because honestly, like, this isn't a bad one. Such a good one. It comes in with the scenery, but it's there pretty much to give my commander death touch, haste, and all later 1. Whenever an opponent was sagging non-token permanent, I could put the card into the battlefield when I control it. It didn't give me 3 life. It's 5 colorless, quick for 3. It's such a good card. You gotta have your staples as well too, like Blast Act or Black Witness Act. I did add a funny card in here, which is Will of Misfortune. You gotta have your Dark Rituals and your Rakdos deck, because again, Dark Rituals there to help me cast my commander. into Moon Silver Key is in here. Hit the Motherload. I actually got to see play with this card. This card is actually pretty good. It's honestly a really, really good card. I would recommend adding it into your red decks. If not, because whatever you're like, let's say you discover for one. Let's say you discover you did the top, you get it, and let's say it's a soul ring. You would make 9 treasures because you get that many treasures for whatever the difference is, which is such a good card. Makes 2 treasures, which is not bad. They are tapped though, but still, it's such a good effect. Chaos Ward, Assault on Ospelia, or whatever it is. But this is such a good card too in this deck because it's a way for me to get a blocker out or something to swing with. Call for Tempest. It's like a board wipe. You cascade, and then it deals damage to each creature your opponents control equal to the total mana value of other spells you cast this turn. Fiery Inscription. Ring taps me, and then whenever I cast instant sorcery, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Eternus Violence. Another source of protection with Orcish Medicine. Shieldred is in here because we do like to play spice, but it's there for recursion and making my opponent sack a creature, so I would benefit, of course. Thrilling Encore because that thing is good. Actually, this card is actually really, really good. We got Jades, aka Lightning Greaves. Gotta have haste and shout. Unwinding Clock is there to untap my artifacts, pretty much. So you can't go wrong with not having a way to untap your artifacts, which I do need to in this deck, unfortunately. It's just what it is. Got a Source of Protection with Supernatural Stamina. Another staple here with the Toxic Deluge. Such a good card. Terminate. Have some interaction to destroy a target creature. It can be regenerated. Rising Day. So this is a static. This is not a static effect. This is more of an anthem effect. So it won't cancel the Undying of my commander. But it's there because all my creatures have haste. Talisman of Indulgence. Another mana rock. Reckoner's Bargain. Source to gain life because I don't have as much, but I am looking for a Kirk, Son of Yawgmoth, for this deck to have another way to gain life. Kirk would actually be a great card for me right now because I don't have a lot to gain life, but I have a couple things. But this is one of them. Soul Shatter. Such another good card as well. This is one that also comes in the scenario. You exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it. Gains haste until end of turn. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. Use Storm, so whenever you cast a spell, you copy it for each spell cast before this turn. Such a good one. Another high mana, staple mana rock with mana crypt. I need to. I gotta have it in here. Black Market. This one is one that I didn't see a lot of play of. Honestly, I might be taking this out for Vraska, for this Vraska. So this Vraska might be going in for black market. And another recursion spell with another recursion spell with Victimize here. Choose 2 target creature cards in my graveyard, sacrifice a creature, and if I do, return the chosen card to the battlefield tapped. We got Vampire Tutor. Got Elderbrain to have more cards to play off of my opponents. This is actually such a good card in this deck. Although it's not a Wraith, I can turn it into a Wraith with the land. But still, this is such a good card. Another mana rock here with Arcane Signet. Your girl Rowan, she's in here. This was actually going to be the original commander for the deck, but instead I decided to go with Witch King Skyforge as the commander. I see fit more Rowan as part of the 99 more than as a commander, but that's just my opinion of it, and she's been doing her job actually in this deck, so she's MVP of the deck. We got some interaction here with it's a dueler's Faithful Strike for the legendary instant. Good way to destroy target creature if I control a legendary creature or planeswalker, but if its controller has more of her cards in hand, they exile cards off from their hand equal to the difference. Such a good instant as well to run in the deck. Cunning Rhetoric, which is another really good card. Got another Tutor with Demonic Tutor. We got Imperial Recruiter. He's another key piece in the deck, and you'll see why here in a bit, because he'll be able to grab this guy, Bloodletter of Pocketzots, however you pronounce it. Has flying. If an opponent will lose life this turn, will lose life during your turn, they lose twice that much. They lose twice that much life instead. So as you can see, got Imperial Recruiter will grab that, or Gutter Snipe. Whenever it casts an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. That's another one he can grab. Stormkin Artist, which is another good card in this deck that Imperial Recruiter can grab. Here's my other source of lifelink with Disciple of Bolas. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice another creature, gain life, draw X cards, where X is the creature's power. We got Treasure Napper as well. Whenever an opponent taps an artifact for mana, I gain control of it until my next turn. And with the last one, Raya, which is another card in this deck of source of life gain and pinging life from my opponents whenever a black creature ETBs my field. But I can also tap it to draw a card whenever I would sacrifice another black creature. So that is the deck. So far, it has been doing good in the games I've been playing in. With it, just gotta have that those key hands essentially. That is not too bad. This is what I'm thinking about adding to the deck. As you guys saw the first one, which was with Vraska. Would help me peripherate it, but it's there for it's there for Rowan also to target something with a -2 ability. But I just figured why not put in poison counters, or why not to get the number of poison counters equal to the difference. So I might be adding this might be going to add in this deck. Do want to add Turgid, so Turgid's another one I do want to plan on adding into the deck. Another one, because I kind of do need to draw, but be there just to ping my opponents, because I'm thinking about adding more life gain if I do ever come across a Kirk. Been thinking about probably adding Throw Possibility as well. Smelt, just to have some interaction to destroy a target artifact. We are going Mana Geyser, which could be another one to copy with a Wall Ricochet, but is probably there just to give me all that red mana. Faithless Looting is not bad, because I can filter out my hand to discard whatever I don't need, but draw 2 more cards, essentially. We got the Invasion, of course. I just like what it flips into, because this is what it would flip into. Has Ward, pay 2 life. Whenever I would cast a spell, it deals 2 damage to each of my opponents. The proxies I do plan on adding would be Orborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, and Cabal Coffers. Then we got Source of Recursion, but also with, in fact, it would be Necrosion Communion. It's another recursion, another source of recursion. If it can, just, because it's not focusing, but you guys can see it. There you go. And then the last one, what I'm thinking about adding is probably Merc with Bats. Whenever I would create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. So pinging people with treasures. That is the deck. That's the deck type at least. Let me know your thoughts of what, if those were good selections to add, probably not to add. But those are currently my selections. This is the deck. I will be doing some more deck types on other decks that I have. Just let me know for any more recommendations. I do plan on probably playing out the 9 NAF schools as well too, and probably getting my hands on a foil Witch King of Vanguard, because the foil one, if I'm not mistaken, should be at like 6. It's like 592 with tags, should be like 6 at my local local game store. But let me know your thoughts on the deck, the cards I plan on adding, any recommendations to the deck. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God. It's beautiful.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.